What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more True August. And we're up to the final track on his 2019 self-titled EP, and thus, for the time being at least, the final song from Augie we'll be going through on a Walktar Wednesday. As always, major thank you to Sofia, who provided not only the Breathing Room album, but this EP as well, not to mention this coffee mug, or tea mug in my case. In any case, yeah, the final tune on the EP is Leipzig. So it's a city, I believe, sort of in northeastern Germany, but I think it's considered like one of the most southernmost cities in northern Germany, if that makes sense. I have no idea if this is a direct reference to the city, and even if it is it the setting for the song? Is it a reference in the song? Is it a name? I mean, it could be a dog named Leipzig for all I know. So, yeah, I don't quite know what to make of it. It is a proper noun and a single word title. Those are probably the most difficult to get a read on. Either way, I'll see what I can pick up on a first listen, and I have truly enjoyed Augie's music, and I hope he continues to write songs and put out releases, because I think he's got the Walktar Savoy magic, even if his music doesn't sound like a Savoy song or an Aha song or, Paul's singing itself. So yes, I very much hope he continues. Let's give this track a listen. This is Leipzig, the final track on the True August self-titled EP 2019. Train station.
White pillar with green, a shop that hides between. There's dark blue in this town. I saw you sundown. The sun has just left, but it's on creepy out. There's a fountain.
sounds like a bus. I thought I heard a plane along the way, but definitely it still sounds like trains. So yeah, bookended with some live transportation hub type sounds, and thus I wonder if still there is some degree of literal meaning in the title. I mean, early on I heard something about like this town. Now, Leipzig is a pretty big place to call a town, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, sometimes people call LA a town. You know, it's like however many million people that live in LA. But yeah, so I don't know if it's literally Leipzig. Either way, I didn't catch a whole lot of the lyrics. It did feel like nomadic, and I don't know if that's just because of the sounds of transportational vehicles of different kinds, which is incidentally a nice little bit of convergence in that I did a watch along earlier for a film that will be on my Patreon called Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, so I feel like we heard all three of those here. But yeah, the atmosphere of the tune, again, it felt a bit nomadic, and I thought maybe there were one or two lines that seemed to speak to that, though I'll admit I was hearing more of the sonics and Augie's vocals per se rather than a lot of the lines, certainly lines in complete detail, so it's one that I'll have to listen to again. But yeah, the sonic atmosphere, I enjoyed like a couple things about it. One, it did have this dreamy, echoic feel like a lot of his work, and yet the first half especially felt like being in a dream of an electronic, like synth pop type of tune. There were electronic sonics, but they felt faded or stretched out or, you know, rendered more psychedelic and echoic, so that it felt less like electronic groove and more like, again, a vision or a dream of an electronic soundscape. But then it sort of, like about halfway through, it switched into a section that suddenly felt more grounded, and it was like the main guitar line, which sounded straight away. It didn't have like a lot of effects on it. That took the lead, and there was, I think, like a true string as well. I don't know if it was a violin, but yeah, that suddenly kind of, it felt like waking up. It felt like being in a more physical, waking reality. So yeah, I enjoyed that transition. I'd still say overall the tune had a bit of a, you know, atmospheric, dreamy quality, but I especially enjoyed that transitional moment. There is like another phrase that I caught, and now I'm blanking on, and I'm annoyed by it. But yes, I will, if I can remember, try to put it in the description, and again, I will be re-listening to this, so I not only look forward to any comments and insights people might have about the lyrics, but perhaps that phrase will come to me by the time I post this video, or at least, you know, within the next several hours. It does often happen. I'll post a video, and then, you know, even before I've re-listened to it, even before people start commenting, they're like, oh wait, that was the phrase, but it's kind of too late. It's like, you know, I've already done my outro, I've already written the description, I've already posted it, so I could, you know, pin a comment like, oh hey, I remembered, and I think I have done that once or twice, but yeah, it's kind of like, you know, the moment's gone. So that is one of the things about shooting these videos, just, you know, with no script and just feeling and articulating my reaction in real time, is that sometimes you can't recall a detail until it's just too late. Nevertheless, I absolutely enjoyed this EP, and I think it's indicative of someone who was always going to release a proper album, and though I think there are some sonic and conceptual differences, I feel like it's no surprise Breathing Room sounded the way it did having heard this EP, even if we listen to them in reverse order. So yeah, just again, I hope Augie continues making tunes. Thank you again to Sofia, not only, as I said, for the True August material and much else, but also the tea mug. In any case, let me know what you think, and I will see you for the next one. Peace.